So guys, welcome back to ManTalk. This is season 2. We had a short break over the new year, but we're back. We're two men light, but they'll be joining us in other episodes. So for now, it's just me and Oscar holding it down.
Yeah.
How do you feel being back, man?
Fantastic, man.
Yeah?
Excited. New
Season. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a
minute. But
Okay.
we know it.
What's happened since the last season in your life? What's happened with Oscar since you were last on camera for these guys? I know.
I think the highlight is where we are now, which is I became an associate in a law firm. So
amazing. Yeah.
So that's the highlight. So I'm doing some work in the corporate commercial department here. The firm's name is OK, and I love it.
Nice. So let me break down what we're doing today, right? Today we're getting to. We thought last season it was good. We got to talk about good topics and get good feedback. Thank you for the feedback, by the way. But this time we were okay, let's get to know us individually in the next season. So we're here at Oscar's law firm, as he said, OK. So we're going to get to know Oscar, get to know his journey. As he mentioned, he's an associate. So Oscar, I wrote some questions, and I've not told you what they are. But the aim of these questions is to know the journey up until now.
Okay.
To know what you've learned, and hopefully in doing that, you'll impart knowledge to somebody else.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
That's why we're here.
Drum rolls.
Yeah. So you've been an associate for?
4 months?
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months.
How long has it taken to get there? When you just start from
law school.
Before law school, secondary school. Because the thing is, if somebody's I don't know, the school system here is really bad. But if somebody's 14 and they're that's what I want to be doing in a few years.
Okay.
I'm 14. What did Oscar, 14-year-old Oscar, what was he doing?
First of all, I never really thought I'd be a lawyer when I was 14. Yeah, I had a deep interest for business and economics.
Okay.
But the math wasn't acting.
He smelled.
The math wasn't acting right. Plus, I just realized that lawyers understand business a lot more substantively. We're a bit granular about it in terms of structure and how exactly.
I realize it's just raw conversations in life. You understand me. I always get shocked, but it comes from that.
It comes from just paying attention to detail. Not to say that guys in economics or who did commerce don't have that same level of detail, but I feel my thinking is that lawyers are forced to kind of sit down and break down transactions kind of to a more deeper level. And when I was 18, I kind of understood that a bit more. So
18, okay.
So 14, 15, wanted to get into business school. But then I realized maybe there's a bit more value I can give in transactions if I just understand transactions a bit more deeper, regulations around it. If you're playing a game of Monopoly, the one who tends to win the most is the one who knows the rules.
That's very true. That's very true. So you knew that at 18 years old?
14, 15 maybe. 14,
okay, 18, that wasn't my life. That wasn't that. 18, I was a mess. So I know this already.
Yeah.
But you were generally just a naturally smart guy, right? Or was it just a lot of hard work, or was it?
I wouldn't call myself a natural born intellectual or someone who didn't have to put the effort. I've always wanted to push the envelope and to kind of challenge myself. And to do that, you'll find that if you're comfortable, then there's probably something you're doing a great bit wrong.
Yeah.
So I've never considered myself an intelligent person. I guess it's just my spirit, my belief in God and my belief in hard work. I feel that's what's pushed me forward, and not necessarily my natural gifts. We all given talents. It's how we use them, right? We use them.
Yeah, because I've noticed as well, just in general, outside, every time we meet, we always say this, your energy levels are just always 100. They're just always 100. So I think that's what you're saying. Even if you were saying you weren't naturally academic, your energy levels are going to surpass someone else because you're doing the midnight oil, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I know this.
The grind,
the grind,
man.
It's silly hours.
Yeah, it's, I think I really follow sports. So UFC, Conor McGregor, LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. What they always have and what they'll always tell you is you have to be obsessed about what you're doing. It has to be an obsession. You have to wake up every day and say, I'm about to become the best version of myself in my workplace. I'm going to create results. And where I work here at O, we have partners and leaders who are very similar in that vein. When you look at our founding partners, these are people who are accomplished, but they still do put in the work. I mean, I joke because one of my senior partners, his name is Mr. Kibet, left the office at 8 and he found us he found us working. So he walks up to us and says, you're still working? Yeah, you know me, I'm too old now. He's leaving the office at 8 p.m. But for him, it's like, I'm too old now. He's been grinding since 7 in the morning till 8 p.m. But now he's like, I'm too old now.
For him, that's taking a break.
Yeah, that's taking a break. So, in my mind, I was like, most Kenyans leave work at like 5 p.m.
Yeah,
School closes at 5 p.m. You're rushing out. And when you look at the partners in the office, they've accomplished everything you could ever want as a man or as a human being in terms of materially, but they still put in the work
and that's I think, like, to summarize what you've said, is basically, and it's a well-known saying that, like, work outweighs talent, like, every time. And it sounds like the guys you're mentioning now, that's the case. Yeah.
All day, all week, all month.
Yeah.
You remember Nick was telling us that his idea for making money isn't a lot at once.
Shout out to Nick. That was a gem.
It's a little bit every day, and I see that in the office. In this at Triple O and as a lawyer, I think the formula isn't making a lot of money at once as a young practitioner. It's more of a little bit, just a little bit every day. And you'll be shocked at the levels you can reach.
I was reading some guy. He's got a book called The 5 a.m. Club, and he mentions this. He says that everyone says in a year I want to achieve this, but just break it down to, like, in the morning I want to achieve this. I've woken up at 5. I've gotten here by this time. And he was like, okay, if you do those mornings, they're gonna, like, a good morning, it's gonna turn into a good day.
Yeah.
Do a good day, it's gonna turn into a good week. Ultimately, a good year, a good life, right? So it's like those guys, like, just like all those years, but still 8 p.m. He's still gonna, and then you find yourself in those positions, right? Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
On the back of talking about, like, your superiors and stuff like that, where you are now, career-wise and life-wise, you're saying at 14, 15, you kind of had an idea of what you wanted to do. So there was expectation there.
Yeah.
Would you say that the expectation is the same as the reality at the moment?
It depends on what you value. I think your value system dictates a lot about what you perceive to be your reality and the level of value you attribute to it. For me, I measured myself in terms of career when I was in campus, and I said, at my age, between the ages of mid-20s and 30s, I don't want to be the type of person who's, like, making big bang.
Right.
Because you want it, but at the same time, I understand that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with making money.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I prefer the mentorship stage that I'm at now, where I'm working under people who understand me, who have attained a certain level of success that has become sustainable, and who are continuing to break barriers in their professions. For example, we have Mr. Ohaga, who recently became chairman of the steering committee for alternative dispute resolution in the Office of the Attorney General, or the fact that he's about to become senior counsel. I don't think he might even be the youngest to ever achieve that.
Wow.
Our managing partner. So you see, I'm working under people who understand success in a way that most people just read about. You know what I mean? So being under that tutelage for me was the objective. Now that I'm here with the best mentors I can possibly get, in my view, and who continue to expand my mindset and to kind of expand the kind of level of work that I'm doing. I'm safe, man. It's good. It's good. But if I was the type of person to say, oh, materially, I don't live in that big house, I don't drive that Benz, my guy, there's great power in the word eventually.
That's so true. So true. And I feel like through that process, you appreciate every level. Do you know what I mean? Rather than someone, lottery winner for someone, they haven't seen the process. So the value, like you're saying, the value system of that can be crazy. And I think we've mentioned this before. I think we're having lunch the other week about environment and how that can propel you. Like, there's a quote that Steve Harvey says. He says that if once you go to first class, you can't get back. You literally can't get back. I feel like I know the answer, but I wanted to explain, like, how that's impacted you. Like, being in those environments with excellence, how important is that at your stage now? And I don't know if this was the case back when you were younger, but were you in those environments of excellence even with your peers? Did you have to, like, drop them to be able to get to those kind of environments? And what's been your journey? Like, what's basically your motto in terms of who surrounds you? In different areas of your life and your impact, how it impacts
peers for me. That's a fantastic question. Peers for me, peers versus growth is always something that sometimes can even be biblical. We all get the word. We all get God's word. He throws it on fertile ground. It grows. Throws it upon the rocks.
Sure, happening.
among the thorns, chokes and dies.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to life. You know, we all get opportunities, and it's kind of the ground in which you surround yourself in. Like here in the office, I have fantastic friends. In fact, most of let me say my religious peers are actually ladies at the office. They're prayerful, strong, and capable women who like enable me to see life beyond the eyes of just a young 20-something-year-old man who doesn't have much in terms of spiritual incentive. That's what I mean. Like, what's the incentive for a 20-something-year-old guy who really who's like working at work and has some money to spend to sit down and pray? You'll find that my peers, in terms of my faith with the ladies, they've kind of enabled me to understand God a bit more. Bit more.
That's amazing.
Yeah, a bit more deeply.
Yeah.
That's one. The second thing is also when you look at business, me, you, Nick, we sit down and as entrepreneurs, we speak about like what we're trying to achieve and kind of the vision of the brand and the vision that we have of ourselves. Like we push each other to get there.
So true. So true. Like the Nick's comment, like that stayed with both of us.
It's going to stay for both of us for life.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk much, but he's wise.
Yeah, he's like the old man in the corner.
Yeah, he's
the old man in the corner.
He's a wise guy. So there's that. And then now third is I also have now the mentorship level. So you see, on every level I'm covered. Like I have, peers who are my boys who, we do the entrepreneurship stuff with. Then I have the ladies who assist me and help me understand even the psychology of women. When it's right. And then I also have now the third level, which is like mentors. You know what I mean? And like they went through my struggles. They understand where I'm coming from. So that way, my advice is tiered, so I make sure that
certain things they're in different pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
but of course, I like to go crazy sometimes. I mean, I'm young, so the partying is a must.
Sometimes. Is that intentional? The different tiers that you have, is that intentional? Do you make like snap decisions like you're not going to fit in my box and you're not going to help me grow?
I feel like that's something that would be judging for me. It's more of life just has a way of, and God also has a way of moving things aside that are unnecessary. It's very strange. It's a very natural thing. Like you'll find I've engaged with people, as you know, I've engaged with people, talk to them consistently, and then in the end, they're just flat. So I know you're laughing, but it's true. Like it's the truth. Like at the end of the day, my value system and yours don't match, and you'll feel irritated sometimes. So so that's kind of the truth.
Because otherwise you're straining yourself in these interactions.
And there's no need to. No need. Slowly.
Just connect with who you gel with.
Yeah, connect. I feel take it easy. We're in this office enjoying ourselves.
And that's what I know. Every time I come in here, it's just like happy. Like it's just energy. Happiness.
It's a fantastic place to work. It's a fantastic place to grow as well.
Nice. So I wanna go on the other side of the camera.
Okay.
Right. And I want to be a 14-year-old boy, a 16-year-old boy.
Okay.
And they're looking at Oscar. Okay, there's so many books. There's a nice jacket. Like, do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
And for them, it's going to align with what their parents sometimes say, which is you can be a doctor, lawyer, or failure. So, because you're in that box of achievement, if you weren't, before we get there, what's your take on that? The whole, and did that propel you to where you are now? The African parent with the doctor, lawyer?
I was actually raised by lawyers.
Okay.
So but facts being facts, I don't think that it's fair for any parent or for any person to think less of themselves simply because of where they are in life. I think all of us have certain gifts. Greatness dwells within all of us, and it's up to us to walk our journey and kind of just unravel that beautiful part of ourselves that is able to be effective at what we do.
I like that.
So so that's that. That's the first thing about boxes. I don't think you should feel less of yourself. You should be more confident in life, in using yourself and your skills, in giving more to the world. You're not here to earn money. You're here to contribute to society. I get what I mean. If you sit down and tell yourself, I'm here to earn money, I'm seeing all these Instagram likes, you know what I feel about social media. You're seeing all these
season 1.
you see all these Instagram likes, you see that guy in a Benz. But the question should be, are you a net contributor in society? Are you giving to society as much as as much as has been invested in you? So if you think that that's what you're doing and you feel as if the economy is wrongly pricing what you're giving us, I think you're in the wrong line of business. The economy always rightly prices what it gives you. That's why it's called a market.
So would you tell them to how would you tell them to find their own path? Because at that age you're just confused. You're confused, and sometimes
You're
you
supposed
see
to
results
be.
and you think, yeah,
You're supposed to be.
this is what I
Yeah,
see.
you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't think there's if you're an 18-year-old who is not confused, you're Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But Mark Zuckerberg happens once in a generation. So if you're Waweru, Kanyenyi, Kome, Mtoidenji, Mwenda, you have to be a bit confused so that you can figure out like how to make wealth in unorthodox ways. And you've done it personally. I think like with what I've seen with Instamarket, I think you've done a great job of showing the youth that they can be whatever they want to be and providing a platform to create products, sell them, market themselves. And that's the idea. It's not, you're not supposed to sit down and think you can't contribute to society and just sit on your hands. Just whatever you have, whatever ideas you have, put together a team and make it work. It's 2020, man.
Yeah. I'd say like if it was like they asked me, I think I would say, because so my journey, like you mentioned, has been okay. When I was confused, I did just follow the leadership of my parents. I did that to an extent until I knew what I wanted to do. So when I followed them, it was like I said, I was a mess. So they were like, I could go to university. I was like, okay, what else am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? So I went to university. It's only in being in that place they sent me that I realized what I wanted to do. So I think sometimes it's dangerous where it can be like, I'm not going to listen to you, I'm going to follow my own path, but you don't know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? So just take the guidance until that kind of realization. You start to find out what you don't want. And that might be what they've given you, but then you know what you don't want. And then you know what you do from that.
Arrogance is a very expensive vice. Arrogance is a very expensive vice.
I just say you've got so many amazing sound bites. Come on. I need t-shirts.
Like arrogance is a very expensive vice. Whether you're successful or good at what you do, or whether you're not, like just lacking the wisdom to sit down and listen to what your seniors are telling you about life lessons that they've gone through. That seems counterintuitive. We all have respect for history. So if your parents are telling you to do something, I'm not saying that you throw out everything that they say, but pay attention to the values they're trying to instill. Values and those are values and sound bites, and what they tell you. Are two different things. So just listen to what they're saying, and you might find that you might find yourself in the journey of as much as it's reluctant, you might find yourself in the journey of that work. And it's good you've even mentioned it. When I went to law school, I didn't want to go to law school.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Oh, man, I had.
Was it because it was too predictable?
I mean, I went to Strathmore. I wanted to go to University of Nairobi, but University of Nairobi is fantastic. And I have no qualms. But like my parents' decision to push me, those days I grew up in South Sea, very hot-headed, very arrogant. In many ways, I still am. But in many ways, in many ways,
your colleagues nodding in the corner.
But when I joined law school and Dr. Franceschi, who was the dean at the time, kind of planted a seed within me that continues to grow till today. So just that. What
was that seed? What was the? If it was like in a box in a shelf, what would it be if you put it in some granola?
I don't know what it would be, bro. But like what I can tell you is he put that seed of wanting to be the best version of yourself.
Nice.
Him and the lecturers like really worked towards grooming me and making sure that I understand exactly what I'm doing. And that level of kind of growth would not have come, and I wouldn't be sitting on this chair today speaking to you if it wasn't for them during that phase of my life. So like I said, arrogance is very expensive. Can you imagine if I said no, went to University of Nairobi or did some other course somewhere else, I wouldn't be here in this chair today. So we thank God and we thank the opportunities that our mentors give us as we grow.
No, definitely similar on my end. And I think what I learned looking back in hindsight is, okay, your parents aren't the be-all end-all. They don't know everything, right? But ultimately, they're the only people in your life that genuinely want the best for you. Sometimes what they think is best for you is not. But until you find that out, just follow the guidance, man. Just follow the guidance. So parting thought. So I'm really targeting that 16-year-old. Parting thought to them. How do they get in this chair? How do they achieve what you have at a young age?
First thing I think is, and your mom will tell you this, your dad will tell you this, but the first thing is God. And it's important that you have a religious base, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu. It's very important you have a religious base and that you build yourself off of that religious base because that'll give you a value system and you can use that to grow. And the most ruthless strategy, I'll tell you, is a spiritual one.
That's so true.
Yeah,
that's so true.
It's the most ruthless
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's the first thing. Let's move that aside. Then the second thing is, when I was in campus, I didn't. I still think that in many ways I'm still paying the price for not necessarily giving it everything and allowing myself to get distracted. As much as you might think that I have achieved success on a certain level, the truth about it is I would have been better if at that young age I sat down and just went ham. You get what I mean?
I feel the same way.
Yeah, as you grow older, kind of there's a kind of pain that in uni I didn't pay attention in certain classes that I wasn't. What I mean?
Yeah.
So as much as I managed somehow to grow and to kind of just destroy those obstacles, and I passed well. I think as a young man, the advantage you have is time. And you should invest that time in making sure you create the best net results for yourself. And that's by working hard in school. It's a very simple thing. It's as simple as saying, this Friday, no dunda in the library. Or just like really being passionate about what you do. That aside, and then now peers. If you're young, you're a 16-year-old person, look for your dean, man. Look for your dean, look for your lecturers. Try to be accessible to them.
And they want that. They're lacking people that want
So they do. That's not something anyone told me. But they do. Like, sit down with your peers and like, maybe with your mentors, and they might be able to chart a path down the road that you're not seeing, but they do because they're older and they're more wise. And like, it's not you living someone else's destiny. It's just your own manifestation of vision with some guidance. So yeah,
that is literally amazing nuggets. Like, I hope they had like notepads. That's incredible. What's next for Oscar?
There might be something.
There
might be something.
Season 3.
Season 3.
Amazing, guys. I really hope that was like some sort of value. I hope there's something you can take away from that. If there was, let us know. Leave a comment. Oscar's joining social media, so he'll be able to read it very soon.
What did you say?
Yes.
What?
So we will see you on the next episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far, and enjoy your week or weekend. Peace. Cool. Yeah. Light work. Yeah. How long was that?
I'm making it for you for the LinkedIn.